This broadcast is PC 13. Political correctness is unavailable here. Not suitable for politically correct viewers. For a mature audience only. The morning show is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.
Good morning, Jerry, and good morning, America. Welcome to AM Talk Radio. And our talk of the day, the border. And I was talking about the Native Americans who live in this area, how they wish they had controlled their border more effectively. And the question is raised, why didn't they? I mean, when you think about it, there were millions of American Indians here, Native Americans, when the white man came. The white man was vastly outnumbered, and even though he had a little bit of technology, rifles and pistols and horses, that doesn't explain it. Because the Indians were very proficient with bows and arrows, they quickly learned how to ride horses. What was their real downfall, other than maybe smallpox and some things like that, was greed. The big chiefs saw that the white man was bringing trinkets and gadgets, pots and pans, mirrors, steel hatchets, things that were not made in this country. And they saw that they could get wealthy and take advantage and beat other tribes. And they were willing to basically keep reinviting. You know, the white man came here in, 1600? They had a chance to see what the story was. They were bringing gadgets and buying up Manhattan and other things. It wouldn't have taken a whole lot of brains to figure out what the scam was as far as the white man. But the problem was, what the white man depended on was the greed and corruption among the Indian chiefs who said, you know, we can control the situation. We'll just keep inviting these white people with all of their gizmos and gadgets and trinkets that we don't make here, and we'll get these things, but we'll be able to. You know, Jenny, there's a story about a cat I like to tell. A cat was small one day, and all the mice got together and said, you know, what are we going to do about this cat? Well, hey, he's so small and stupid and clumsy, he can't get any of us. So this went on for some time. The cat kept getting bigger. And then they had another meeting and said, well, the cat's pretty big now, and he's fast and starting to get dangerous. Who's going to put the bell on the cat's neck? Well, nobody volunteered. Nobody had the courage. And you know the end of the story. The bell never got hung on the cat's neck, and the cat ate all the mice. Well, that's exactly what happened to the Native Americans because they had no border control. They thought that these few white people that came in, they had actually laughed at them. That's how inept they were. They had practically starved to death when they first got here. And they liked their gadgets, and they kept letting them come back and making deals with them, the chiefs, even though some wise chiefs counseled against this and said, are you stupid? They're going to take this whole country. People like Crazy Horse, you know, and so on, counseled against. Giving in by then, though, was too late. You know, one of the big chiefs, I think it might have been Red Cloud or Sitting Bull, they took him back east, the white man did, and they showed him the vast cities of America and the steam engines and so forth. So when he went back to his people, he said there were so many white people and they had so much power, but strong medicine. will never be able to resist them. Please give in. And that is how America was basically stolen because of lack of border control. And you asked the question, what would America have been like had there been effective border control? Well, I think it isn't too hard to imagine that technology or no technology of the Indians had organized the millions that they were in numbers, they could have negotiated a lot better deal than they got. There's power in numbers, there's power in brain power. You don't always have to have the highest technology to be effective, but you do have to have courage. You do have to want to protect your borders, your language, your culture, and your religion. Those four things. And Poland has shown us the way. Hungary today has shown us the way. Slovakia, the Czech Republic, because they have done exactly that, and they have been very, very resistant to allowing foreign invasions into their country. And if we don't know, and if we're not smart enough to know how to do it, all we have to do is take a little trip to Warsaw or Budapest and so on, and they'll be glad to educate us as to how they solved the illegal invasion problem, which was massive, and they basically have it down to zero. But the big thing that it takes is courage and wisdom, something that our political leaders seem to be in short supply of. But they have plenty of greed, and they're serving their self-interest very well, and they're willing to sell the entire country off if they can increase their little bottom line for the next 3 months or so. Now, that's the sad truth of the matter. Karl Marx predicted that capitalism would fall by its own weight, its own stupidity. And we seem to be making Karl Marx look like a genius, because it's exactly what is going on in this country.
Well, Karl Marx studied capitalism, so it's not surprising he looks like a genius to the people that are lost and looking for answers. And I saw I don't know if you heard of Contraland by Craig Sawyer. It's about human trafficking. The border issues oftentimes connected to the human trafficking. And I could not believe how shoddy the border looked. Like, it was a fence that was like bent over, and it was nothing. And that's all that was. I mean, that's on our part. That's where we went wrong. And I think with President Trump, seeing a real border, like a real uh, metal border that looks like a border and not a fence that's broken over and been hacked away. And as far as anyone else being in Globe, Arizona, you guys see it firsthand. Over here in Pittsburgh, maybe not so much, but I'm going to tell you, the Mexicans don't want to learn the first language of English, and we're going to get back to that in the second segment after this.
Very good, Jenny. And all I can tell you is that President Trump is a courageous man. And as I said, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Slovakia have shown us the way. And it's not complicated. It comes down to you build an effective wall. They electrified it. They manned it properly. They maintained it properly. And they enforce their immigration laws very stridently. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And they reduced it to zero, Jenny.
Yeah.
Just by doing things.
You were making a point. You were making a point about the first language. Like, a lot of them, they talk amongst themselves and they talk their own language, and that's the whole thing with speaking English as a first language. That America, there should be a requirement for every citizen to learn English.
Well, supposedly it is, but all this stuff in Spanish is to accommodate the millions of illegals in here. They do not even want to speak English. They have a term for what they're doing. It's called reconquista. It means reconquering vast portions of the United States. See, they're still chafing over the loss in the Mexican War in 1840, when the United States was generous enough to give them back half. They could have taken all of Mexico, but they only took half.
Well, I would think that President Trump is going to have an executive order about English being the first language, and that there's requirements under the U.S. laws, FCC regulations, that they have to have English. They have to have some level of English. They have to be able to take classes or show proof in order to become a citizen of the United States. I think that's going to be if it hasn't already happened, it will.
Jenny, that's the way it used to be when my ancestors came. You don't see all this nonsense with Polish, German, Russian, Italian, French. Nobody else's language is being blabbed all over the country, and you have to put up with recordings in 17 different languages just to get something done. Our nation's composed of many nationalities, and they're not demanding or pushing for their language to be shoved down everybody's throat.
We cannot accommodate the adult illiteracy problem. It is highly dangerous to have that much poverty and uneducated people, and there needs to be a requirement, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next executive order would be that. And we're going to break just here in 2 minutes. We'll be back after this. AM Talk Radio is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.
Yes, to wind up the border issue, the data is overwhelming, and the magnitude of the destruction being done to our people, it will make your knees buckle. And if we dig into the statistics of how many Americans are being murdered every day on average by illegals, that alone is an atrocity. Never mind the money that is being forced to be spent on these people, what's being done to our schools, our hospitals, our military, countless institutions. We cannot afford to underwrite this invasion anymore, or we will lose this country. It's that simple. If you want to have a country, you must have borders, language, culture, and a religion that you will protect. We're not doing any of that, and we're losing the United States of America, Jenny.
Yeah.
And I think we should talk about, drill into the data next time.
Well, I think if we can save the republic based in the U.S. constitutional principles, I think not only can we save the republic, I think we can maintain, and we will see a whole different outlook on the American people, because I think a sleeping giant was wakened during the coronavirus. Don't you think?
Well, I don't know if he was awakened or he's just stumbling around, but he better wake up, because, as I say, United States of America, it will be lost. And it has happened before. Ask the American Indians. They had the entire continent of what is now the United States of America, and within a few hundred years, they lost it all.
Well, we're hoping with the way we do talk radio and the way other people do their talk radio segments, that they exercise the freedoms we have and enjoy the constitutional freedoms. And we want to. I really appreciate the executive order, because it was such an intrusion and such an infringement in violation of my constitutional freedoms that it was hard to do radio, and it was hard to do talk segments like this. I want to thank you guys all for staying with us in this morning talk show. We know it's almost 10 a.m. in Globe, Arizona. It's almost 1 o'clock p.m. here on the East Coast, here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we do the recording. We want to thank all of our residents over there in Globe, Arizona. And thank you for joining us here at our channel at YouTube. You could go to Health and Wellness TV at YouTube to click like and subscribe. It helps us generate more income, and it also helps us to get more people to advertise with us as well. So when you help us keep the lights on and keep this program running, so we can get a paycheck coming into our household. We got food that needs to be on our table. And I want to say this, working with my cousin is a lot of fun, by the way. So thank you, George, for joining us, AKA alias Doc Holiday. It's been a great morning show. I appreciate your time with us a lot. And it's like smooth talk radio, except for it's like drinking a cup of coffee.
Well, Jenny, it couldn't happen without your genius, so I thank you too.
Yeah, a lot of ingenuity. So you see our avatars, Doc Holiday is right there, and you're going by Doc Holiday. I like that.
Well, I earned it on the streets of Tombstone, believe me.
Tombstone, Arizona. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell us that story very soon. For all of you over there in Globe, Arizona, I know there's a big event, some big events up there. So if you ever want to put up an event calendar or ever want to join us in the discussion, we don't have a talk line open, but you can email me. I used to work at 103.3 FM at WGIV in Charlotte. So if you have any like ideas for talk show segments, email me at moonlightingwgiv@gmail.com. We're signing off here. I'm going to give Doc the last word.
Well, my last word is keep strong, keep brave, keep smart, and like pilots say, all you need to keep flying is altitude, airspeed, and a sense of humor, Jenny.
Oh, sounds good. I think if we could ride on a sense of humor, that'd be great. Excellent. Thank you guys for joining us here. Click like and subscribe over at YouTube. You can also see us at the Moonlight Lounge at Facebook, and you can also see me at Planet Radio 6 at Twitter. Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you for supporting Doc and I on our talk radio segment here at YouTube and Facebook, social media, our new media radio show. Thank you. God bless and God bless America. Go ahead. You got the last part of it.
All right. Adios, amigos. Saddle up. We ride from the border.
Excellent. See y'all later. AM Talk Radio is a part of the Amateur Radio Network. Thank you for joining us in our AM Talk show with Doc and Jenny.